stand by.
All right, Koglak ready. Kicking from left to right. This game ready to go. Both teams with 1-1-1 record. They'll run up on the ball, and this game is underway. A high kick. Ike Thomas at the goal line's got it. He brings it out to 5, the 10, the 15, the 20. Comes up to the 24-yard line and is tackled there. Rich Glover, the former All-American for the University of Nebraska, the Outland and Vince Lombardi Trophy winner of a year ago, made the stop for the New York Giants. And the ball is going to be marked at the Green Bay 23-yard line. The sun starting now to peek out as this site here yesterday had a football game, Yale against Colgate, and as we mentioned, the field a little bit torn up, but not in too bad a shape. At the 23-yard line, first down, I formation, receivers wide left and wide right. To the near side, split out, John staggers. Quarterback Del Gazo gives off to McArthur lane, and he's hit hard as he comes up to the 24-yard line. Brian Kelly getting a starting call, led the charge defensively. It'll be a pickup of 1 second and 9.
That's a distinct change from what the Packers tried to do last week against the Minnesota Vikings. On first down, they tried to go deep on a fly pattern after a play-action pass. It was almost intercepted, knocked down nicely by Barry Smith. This time, they go safely into the middle of the line, only get a yard. The Giants' defense is very, very tough.
The Giants last year had 38 sacks as a team to lead the National Football League, so they have a good pass rush front four, led by Jack Gregory, who had 21 of those. Second down, 9 from the 24-yard line. I formation for the green and gold. Del Gazo back to throw, looking, he throws, it's intercepted, and it's picked off. A lateral is attempted at the 40-yard line, running around his Lockhart with the ball, and he returns it to the 35 of Green Bay. John Douglas intercepted the ball, the former Missouri standout. Then he tried to lateral and did to Lockhart, and Lockhart picked up little or more, but they're going to mark the ball now at the Packer 36-yard line.
Gary Del Gazo again threw the ball into a pack. He was trying to hit a man fighting across the middle there, and he just was unable to get the ball to him. They were right on top of it.
So a big break in the early going of this football game. John Douglas with the interception. Norm Snead, the quarterback. Bob Grimm flanked to the near side. Here's Snead, play action fake, rolling the near side. He is throwing. He's hit as he throws the ball. It's incomplete as he was really dumped. Storming through was Alden Roche from the blind side and also Fred Carr. So it's incomplete, 2nd and 10, and I'll tell you, Snead really took a shot on that one. Charlie Evans was the intended receiver on the near sideline. So the Giants come out throwing in a hurry. Last year, Snead completed 60.3% of his passes. A new Giant record. So now at the 36. Second down, 10 yards to go. The interception on the first pass attempt by Jim Del Gazo, setting up the Giants in excellent position. Bob Grimm, Don Herman, flanked to the near side. Charlie Evans and Joe Orduno, the running backs. Bob Grimm goes in motion, far side. And there's the draw play to Evans. Evans is to the 35. He fumbled the ball, I believe. It's loose, but the Giants have recovered it. The Giants recovered their own fumble to 35, a pickup of 1. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Gary, the feeling here in New York that without Ron Johnson, the running attack is just nil. There isn't any. And they're going to have to complete the forward pass to make any yardage against anybody.
Charlie Evans starting in place of Ben Clemens. And then, of course, Joe Orduno, the former Nebraska standout, in place of Ron Johnson. But we expect to see Johnson before the day is over. He was limping somewhat in the pregame warm-up drill. Third down, 9 yards to go from the 35 of Green Bay. Snead back to throw, setting up, throws up the middle, and it is complete to Bob Tucker. He's got it at the 25-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Bob Tucker, who 2 years ago led the National Football League in receiving as a tight end, the first ever to do so, picks up the first down to the Green Bay 24-yard line.
And that's basically the same pass the Packers tried on the play before. And that one was almost dropped. It was not thrown well by Snead. He threw it low and almost away from the man, but Tucker made a good catch on the play.
That is Tucker's 16th catch already this season. He came in here 15 for 230 yards and a touchdown. First down, that's the 24 as they convert on a 3rd and 9 on the pass completion. Tucker now flanked to the near side. Herman is flanked to the far side. Back to throw Snead, setting up at the 30. Throws it over the middle, complete to Evans at the 20. Jim Carter's got him there. An assist from Fred Carr. As right over the middle, he dumped it to his fullback, Charlie Evans. They're going to mark the ball just short of the 20-yard line. And it's going to bring up second down, still 6 yards to go, as Snead has come out throwing. As we mentioned, he has thrown 7 interceptions through 3 games.
That's a typical Norm Snead pass. It's a little dump pass over the line. Tom Brookshire, who was one of the fine defensive backs in the National Football League, was saying before the game, Gary, that he's watched the secondary of Green Bay. He thinks it may be the best secondary
man for man that he's seen in the National Football League. At the 12-minute mark now, this first quarter, no score, but the Giants threatening. Second down, 6 from the 20.5. In motion to the near side comes Bob Grimm. Snead gives off to Orduna, straight ahead, and Orduna is inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Joe Orduna, former San Francisco 49er, advances the ball to the 17-yard line, where it's going to bring up third down, and we still have a long 3 yards to go. Third down, 3. Orduna was quite a find for the New York Giants, picked up from the 49ers, played quite a bit last year, played him at fullback. This year they moved him back to running back. Charlie Evans broke his leg last year. In fact, quite a story on Charlie Evans. Evans has broken his leg 7 times, 2 since joining the New York Giants. And Evans is in there right now in the backfield with Joe Orduna. Third down, 3 from the 17. Back to throw Snead, sprinting the near side. He throws. It's in the corner. Caught for the touchdown. Just inside the corner was Don Herman for the touchdown. Herman was just barely in bounds. As there is a red marker in the coffin corner, he was no more than a half step inside. He cradled the ball, fell to the ground, and the New York Giants, at the 11:09 marker, this first quarter, leads 6-0. So they're able to convert on the turnover. Norm Snead doing a good job of mixing the plays up. And a good job of throwing the football, too, Gary. There wasn't any more room in this corner, and Willie Buchanan couldn't get around him to knock the ball away. Pete Gogolak to attempt the point after. Tom Blanchard to hold. So the Giants trying to make it 7-0. To snap the kick by Gogolak is on the way. It's good. There's timeout from the Yale Bowl. The Giants 7, the Packers nothing. Timeout on the Packer Radio Network. That's only the second touchdown pass thrown against the Packers. The Jets picking up the first one. And now with a 7-0 lead, the Giants kicking off from left to right. Pete Gogolak. He hits one down the middle. It's a boomer. Mike Thomas behind the goalpost is going to bring it out. He comes out to 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, and he is hit at the 21-yard line. Fumbles the ball. Let's see, though, it's one ball dead. The ball has been ball dead. And they're still scrambling for the ball at the 10-yard line, but as we mentioned, the ball is possession of Green Bay at the 21-yard line. Tommy Bell, the head official here today, has ruled that the play has been stopped dead at the 21-yard line, and the ball was punched loose afterwards. Now, you know, that may come about, Gary, after what happened last week in Minnesota. McArthur Lane says he thought the play was totally over by the time he fumbled down on the goal line, and they may have talked about that this week. Well, the Packers at the 21 now, trailing 7-0. Del Gazzo still the quarterback. Receivers wide left, wide right. The I formation backfield. Ken Bowman to snap the ball. He does. Here's Del Gazzo giving off to McArthur Lane. He spins away from one tackler, fights his way to the 24-yard line. John Mendenhall, a very quick defensive tackle and sometimes nose guard when they jump into that 5-man front, made the stop for the Giants. And at the 24-yard line, it's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Boy, they're begrudgingly giving up the yardage thus far. We have a man shaken up. Looks like Bill Luke. Luke is limping. He's going to have to get off the football field. He's going very, very slowly. Keith Wardman's coming in to replace him. So Luke limping off on his own power. Dominic Gentili over there to assist him as he comes to the far sideline.
Gary, it appears either to be his right ankle or his right knee. And we'll watch very closely with the glasses to see which it is.
2nd down, 7 from the 24 of Green Bay. Leland Glass has come in, replacing Barry Smith. He's flanked to the near side. John staggers to the far side. The I formation backfield. 7-0. The Giants on top, converting an interception into 7 points. Quick pitch, far side. John Brockington. Brockington comes up across the 25. Sidesteps the tackler across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Good job that time by Brockington on the sweep. A little near wrinkle as they usually pitch to Lane, but that time pitching to Brockington. Carter Campbell made the stop, and looking to the far side, they appear to be about a half yard short of that first down.
My view is somewhat obstructed of Bill Luke, but it appears that they're working on his right knee.
3rd down. Let's make it a half yard to go. As the Packers, I don't need to tell you, need to convert here, get something going. They trail 7-0, and the Giants, with the momentum on their side in the early going, we have 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Receivers wide left and wide right, just across the 30-yard line. The Packers with the I formation. The Giants almost jump offside. They do. A give to McArthur Lane. He's got the first down. But it looked like the right side of that Giant defensive line jumped across and made some contact. Let's see if they were drawn off or indeed were offside. And they were offside as Tom Bell wastes no time to step off the 5 yards. And that gives the ball to the Packers just across their own 35-yard line. So they get the first down. The Packers huddle back now at the 23-yard line. Leland Glass comes in. Barry Smith checks out. Jim Delgado needs to get some confidence. And he did not get off on good footing here this afternoon throwing the interception. Last week hitting 4 of 14 passes for only 36 yards. The Giants with Gregory. Defensive end to the far side. The near side is Carter Campbell. They have really put the pressure on teams as far as the pass rush is concerned. Just across the 35, Delgado takes a snap. He gives off to Brockington. Brockington across the 40, comes up to the 41-yard line. John Mendenhall again making the stop for the New York Giants. Dan Devine singled out Mendenhall. Talked about him all week long as being an exceptional football player. They're going to mark the ball at the 41, and it's second down, almost 5 yards to go. But now the Packers apparently starting to establish a little bit of a running game, as they've started this own drive from their own 21-yard line, now have it at the 41-yard line. Barry Smith flanks to the far side, the near sideline. John staggers the split backs of Lane and Brockington. Delgado running the team at quarterback. He gives off to McArthur. Lane trying to sweep wide, and he's in trouble. He's going to be thrown for a loss. McArthur Lane trying to sweep wide, and Dan Deutsch came firing through. He was there the moment Brockington started to make his move, and they're going to mark the loss at the 37-yard line, where it's going to bring up third down and 7 yards to go, and that was a big defensive play. It's going to be third down actually and 9 yards to go. So at the 37-yard line, the Packers have another third down. They're going to have to try to convert at the 8.5-minute mark of this first quarter. The Packers were slow getting untracked offensively last week and now off on slow footing here in this football game. Cleveland Glass flanked to the near side. Barry Smith to the far side. Delgado with a 3rd and 9 from his own 37-yard line. He's back to throw. Setting up at the 25. Going to run with it across the 30, 35, up to the 40, and hit there. And that is short of the first down. It's going to bring up fourth down. Still 6 yards to go. Delgado looked, tucked the ball under his arm, and scrambled up to the 40-yard line.
That, of course, is what happens to you when you throw an interception. Now you're looking for a man to be wide open. You don't want to throw an interception of any kind again because it cost you 7 points the first time. And the Packers are going to have to give up the football. They've had it twice, Gary, starting at the 23 and the 21, their own. Pete Athos along with Chuck Fritz. 2 guys back now for this anticipated punt from Ron Whitby, who stands at the 25. The snap, here's a boot. We've got a flag, a beautiful kick by Whitby. Athos goes back at the 6. He's got it there. He's going to the far side of the field, the 10-yard line. He's going to be run down by Tom Toner and knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line. So what's the flag all about? There's actually 2 flags back at the 42-yard line. Excellent punt coverage, and what a booming punt by Ron Whitby. Whitby, who came in here with an average of 46.1. The best punter in the National Football Conference. It's going to go evidently against the Packers. And that will be a break for the New York Giants. It will be a 5-yard penalty, and it is going to have to come back, and they'll kick it over. But again, the point about Ron Whitby, the practice on Friday, they worked for 2 hours, and one of the highlights of that practice, according to Coach Dan Devine, was the punting of Ron Whitby. He was booting the ball beautifully all day. This is an ideal day to kick, Gary. That ball can get up and just float away. Tom Kaminsky points out that was a kick of 54 yards, but it will not go in the record book because they're going to bring it back. The penalty is going to move the ball to a 4th and 11, so Whitby will have to do it again. So this time, Ron Whitby will kick from the 20-yard line. The Packers giving up another 5 yards, and this time Athos moves all the way up to the 20-yard line, anticipating the kick. The snap, the next boot by Whitby is not as good. Whitby comes up, or Athos rather, and bobbles the ball to the 25-yard line, stumbles and falls, and he's to the 26, and that's it. Athos had too much time that time to field the balls, and end result could not latch onto it. So at the 26, that's where the New York Giants are going to have the football, leading 7-0 with 7:10 remaining in this first quarter of play. And the Packers now hoping to hold here and get some field position. The Giants have had the better of it thus far. So the Yale Bowl here in New Haven. There's timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. Giants have the football at the 26-yard line. They come away much better, about 15 yards to the better after that penalty in the second kick by Ron Whitby. In motion goes Grimm to the far sideline. Snead gives off. Running the ball is Evans. He's spun down and dropped. Firing through and doing a good job defensively was Clarence Williams, who penetrated from that left defensive end position, spun him around with one arm, and there'll be a pickup to the 25. Well, actually little or no gain at all. As that time, Williams really read it well.
Charlie Evans has been a real surprise since coming out of the University of Southern California. He was primarily a blocking back for the Trojans. He's an outstanding blocker now, but he's also complemented that phase of his game with some good running. And he's in there now with Orduna. Johnson, along with usually the starter Vince Clemens, not in there at this present time. Second down, 10. In motion, the far side goes Grimm. Snead, play action fake, back to throw. Dumps one off the near side. It's incomplete. Orduna dropped it to the 29-yard line. Joe Orduna was open, but it trickled off the end of his fingertip, and it's going to bring up third down 10.
And Joe Orduna was going to take a hit from Al Matthews like he never fell, because Al had about a 5-yard run at him, and Orduna was going to have to catch the ball with his back to Matthews, and it was going to be quite a collision.
I tell you, Snead does a very good job of setting it up with his play-action faking. He's momentarily holding up that defense that split second that he needs, and that time he had Orduna open. So at the 25-yard line, third down 10. Grimm to the far side, flanked out. Back to throw goes Snead, sets up at the 17. He throws one complete to Orduna at the 30-yard line. He's wrestled down. He's still on his feet, and going to be dropped at the 30. Good effort by Orduna. He was hit initially by Tommy McLeod and then had to have help from Hill and Matthews. It's going to bring up fourth down, and the Giants will have to kick the football.
Hey, they came back to get that hit that they missed the time before because Orduna spun away, and Al Matthews got a chance to hit him that time.
Tom Blanchard now will come in and kick the football. Blanchard averaging 42.5. He's their number 3 quarterback also, played at Oregon. In the 1972 season, he averaged over 42 yards a kick, so he's been a very consistent punter. He'll boot this one from the 15. Ellison staggers back at the Green Bay 30-yard line. 7-0 the Giants leading with 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We're coming to you from the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut. Blanchard has the snap. Here comes the kick. He hits an end-over-end boot a little bit short. Ellis has got us to 35. He's going to come to the near side. He's got one block, but he doesn't have enough as he's knocked out of bounds at the 35-yard line. He got a big block in the vicinity of the 35, but he was still knocked out of bounds on the near side. There's timeout with the Packers trailing 7-0. Timeout on the Packer Radio Network. 2 field goals in the last 6 quarters. They're almost to go through number 7 here as it's 7-0. They trail at their own 35-yard line. Receivers wide left and wide right. The I formation. Del Gazo play action fake. He wants to throw far sideline. Barry Smith broken up incomplete at the 40-yard line. The play action fake, the toss intended for Smith, but he was covered very well by Athos, and also flying over there was Spider Lockhart. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. I'll tell you, Smith had little or no chance to catch that one. They defended very well on it.
Here, one of the things that has to happen very soon is that Jim Del Gazo is just going to have to loosen up. He appears, and you made this comment a few minutes ago, as tight as a drum. He just does not seem himself at quarterback in these last couple of games.
Second down 10 from the 35. 7-0. The Giants scoring on a 17-yard touchdown pass after setting it up with an interception at the 36. Receivers wide left, wide right. There's the draw to Brockington, and Carter Campbell's got him. Brockington had no chance whatsoever to carry the football. A loss back inside the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it as the 33, and the draw, well, evidently the Giants figured that tendency from the moment the ball was snapped. Campbell is a 6'4", 240-pounder from Weber State. Last year a linebacker. He was picked up from the Denver Broncos, and a welcome addition as far as the Giants are concerned. Giants really have improved, particularly in 1972. They really turned it around. Third down. We have 11 yards to go. Operating from the Giants, or make that the Packers' 33-yard line. Receivers wide left, wide right. Del Gazo back to throw at the 25. He's setting up the screen. It's complete to Brockington. Brockington in trouble. He's wrestled down by Johnson off the 29-yard line. Brockington tried to hand fight his way out of it, but Mendenhall just wouldn't give up, and the loss is going to be back to the 29-yard line, and it's fourth down, long yardage to go, and the Packers are going to have to kick it. So the screen, as well as the draws, not working, as the Giants have diagnosed both of those plays very, very well. Athos is going back as the deep man for the Giants, standing at the New York 27-yard line. Whitby to kick this from the 15. Packers starting to lose some field position. There's a high snap. Whitby's got the kick underway. It's a good one. A fair catch is called for by Athos. There's a flag on the play. As Athos makes the fair catch to the 23, very upset at himself that he did. But there's a flag back at the 31-yard line. See what this is all about. Earlier, the Packers got one underway and were called for illegal procedure, but this one's going to go against against the Giants.
It is against the New York Giants. Now the Packers will have to make a decision. The ball is deep in New York territory. It wasn't a bad kick at all offside against the Giants. Are they going to bring it back or not? It would be a long way from being a first down for the Packers. It was a 47-yard punt officially by Green Bay. And are we going to come out and do it again? No, we're going to take the play, obviously, because the defensive team has come onto the field right at the moment, and they'll take it from there. Don Herman comes flank to the near side. Boy, they're jumping all around. They have a three-back I formation. Bob Grimm goes in motion to the far side. Here's Snead. Fumble on the play. He tried to hand off to Evans, and the Packers have recovered to the 21-yard line. After all of that jockeying around on the offensive set, it backfires on the Giants. The ball never was exchanged properly. The Packers are unpiling at the 21-yard line, and they have a very, very good break now. That's the type they need, possibly, to get things rolling. So at the 21-yard line, we did not see who picked up the fumble for the Packers, but the exchange, the ball was bobbled high in the air as he hit into the line. We'll give you a station break, stations, right after this next play. So from the 21-yard line, Barry Smith now. Flank to the far side, the near sideline, John Staggers. The I formation backfield, Del Gazo still the quarterback. The Packers trail 7-0 with a golden opportunity now to tie this game up. Quick pitch, far side, John Brockington's got Lane ahead of him. He's to the 20 and down there. Let's pause now. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Green Bay Packer Football Network.
This is WBAY, AM and FM, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Stay tuned after the Giant-Packer game wrap-up for the Dickey mailbag and scoreboard.
John Brockington sweep picks up a yard to the 20-yard line. Second down, 9. They're trying to run that sweep with Lane leading John Brockington, but the Giants have strung it out very effectively. John Douglas, who earlier intercepted a Del Gazo pass, led the defensive charge for the Giants on that particular play. Staggers flanked to the far side. Near sideline now is Leland Glass with split backs of Lane and Brockington. Second down, 9 from the New York 20-yard line. Del Gazo gives to McArthur. Lane end around reverse to John Staggers. Staggers to the 20. He's to the 15, the 10, 5. He's in for the touchdown. And end around reverse to John Staggers, 20 yards, and now the Packers have a chance to tie this football game up. So after 6 quarters of getting only 2 field goals, the Packers now have scored the touchdown. A little wrinkle, an interesting wrinkle, and it completely fooled the New York Giants. I think it fooled them so much because when you give it to Brockington or Lane, you expect them to carry the ball, and the play was started to the far side of the field, and when Staggers came back to this near side, he just had great blocking out in front. Some of the blockers were just moping along. They couldn't find anybody to block. So at the 2:47 mark, Mark Cole to add the point after it's up, and it's a brand new game, 7-7 from the Yale Bowl in New Haven. The New York Giants now have 2 men back on the goal line. Is running up on the ball, Chester Mark Cole. He hits it deep. At the goal line, they bring it out. Up the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20 is Walter Love, and Love is coming across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Walter Love, who's a rookie out of Westminster. That's in the state of Utah, the first player ever from that school to be playing in the National Football League. And at the 23-yard line, the Giants will have it, but wait a minute, we've got some discussion going on. Looks like we have a flag, and I do not see it, but they're discussing it. It's clear back here at the 45-yard line at the Packer end of the field.
Gary, somebody had to be offside for the Green Bay Packers on that play, and they will kick it over. The Giants want to see if they can't run it out a little bit further. Now, when we've had penalties on the Packer kicking game, the first time it cost the Packers 16 yards in field position. This time we'll see where it comes out to, because the Giants certainly want another chance to run it down. I tell you, it makes a great difference where you start with the football on your drive. The Packers start at the 23, 21, 35 in their own territory, get nothing. Start at the 21 of New York and get a touchdown. So you can see the difference it makes. The Giants start at the 36 of Green Bay and get a touchdown. Start at their own 26 and 23 and don't go anywhere.
Okay, now after the 5-yard penalty assessed on the offside, Marcole will kick this time from the 35-yard line. As Small and Love now move up to the 4-yard line for the anticipated kick, and Marcole hits a line drive. It's hitting at the 10, picked up by Love. He brings up the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and he fights his way out to the 32-yard line. So the Giants are very wise in taking that penalty, as they have the football some 10 to 12 yards further up the field, and they're going to mark the ball at the 32.5 for New York.
Okay, that's 9 yards difference in the churn of the football right there.
That time, Walter Love showed very good quickness. coming to the near side, and he's been a real find as far as they're concerned. He was drafted in the 10th round. Bob Grimm flanked to the near side. Don Herman to the far side. Now Evans and Orduna jumping around that backfield, and now in motion comes Evans. They have a few wrinkles. Norm Snead back to throw, setting up the 25. He dumps it off, complete. Running the football across the 45 to the 50-yard line is Orduna, and he's tackled there, and that'll be a first down for the New York Giants. The Packers and Giants with identical 1-1-1 records. They need to win this one to stay in the title race. Bob Grimm flanked to the far side. Now Orduna and Evans again shift in the backfield. Grimm comes in motion to the near sideline. Snead gives off to Orduna straight ahead. He fights his way across the 50 to the 47-yard line of Green Bay. The Giants really diversified. Reminds you a lot of the Dallas Cowboys from the standpoint that they have so many different offensive sets. They're moving around a lot, trying to change the picture, confuse the defense. That time a pickup of 3 yards by Orduna. It'll be 2nd and 7 as we go to the 1:23 mark of quarter number 1. Boy, what a beautiful autumn day it is in Connecticut. The leaves starting to turn in the Ivy League area with National Football League action. Herman flanked to the far side. Here's a quick pitch. Near side to Orduna. Orduna sidesteps one man, but he's thrown for a loss at the 50-yard line. Clarence Williams and Jim Carter there. That time Orduna had no chance, really, and he loses back to the 50-yard line as the Packers reacted very well. They had it strung out and positioned well. So it's going to bring up 3rd down, 10.5 yards to go. The loss back to the 50-yard line. Tom Blanchard warming up on the near sideline for the Giants. Should he be called on to punt the football? Gogolak, the field goal kicker for the Giants, one time kicked a 54-yarder. He's the all-time scoring leader for the New York Giants. He's surpassed Frank Gifford's record this year. Back to throw Snead, looking up the middle. It's complete. The ball touches the 40-yard line. He fumbles the ball, and Jim Hill has got it at the Packer 35-yard line. Bob Tucker had the ball stripped from him at the Packer 40, and at the 35-yard line, Jim Hill very alertly came up with a fumble recovery, and the Packers have the second opportunity handed to them this afternoon. Earlier, a fumble by Evans, and now a fumble by Tucker sets it up at the Packer 34-yard line. 26 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
One thing about a game like this, it has a lot of excitement to it. You don't know what's going to happen next with the football.
John Staggers flanked to the near side. Barry Smith to the far side from the 34-yard line. First down, Green Bay. Del Gazel, the quarterback, the I formation backfield. He gives off to McArthur Lane across the 35. He breaks across the 40 to the 45-yard line, and that should be a first down. McArthur Lane running with great determination. Throws the football out to the 45. They're very, very close, but it looks like they've got it from our vantage point. And it is a first down. So now with 7 seconds, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. The score from New Haven, Connecticut. The Packers 7, the Giants 7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. Last run by McArthur Lane. The Packers have a first down. Now moving from left to right in quarter number 2. Staggers flank to the far side, the near sideline, Leyland Glass. 7-7 the score as we start the second stanza. Del Gazel gives up to John Brockington. He comes up the 50-yard line, the 45, the 40, and he's got another first down. That play didn't start that well. It looked like a little bit of a difficulty as far as handing the ball off, but then Brockington took over from there and picks up the first down to the 41 of New York.
Okay, it seemed as if the initial fake by Jim Del Gazel froze the defensive end and the left linebacker, the outside linebacker on this near side. And they kind of went inside, and all of a sudden John was coming outside, and he accelerated very well to get around that corner. And the linebacker who was coming over trying to push him away, he just could not get a good grip on him.
Brockington now 5 carries, 27 yards. They mark the ball now at the New York 40. First down for the Packers. 7-7 the score. Barry Smith near side. John Staggers flanked to the far side of the field. Lane and Brockington the running backs. Del Gazel, play action, fake back to throw. He's in trouble, scrambling, throws on the run. It is intercepted at the 20-yard line. Picked out by Willie Williams. And Williams is coming up across the 30 to the 35. I believe the intended receiver was Rich McGeorge. But Del Gazel overthrew him badly, and it was picked up. So at the 35-yard line now, the New York Giants come up with their second interception of the afternoon. And, Jim, I think it was McGeorge he was throwing for. I could not see anybody further down the field.
McGeorge had broken away and was actually in the open to catch the ball. Del Gazel trying to roll to his left, just threw the ball too hard. Overthrew him. Had he just tossed it, finessed it to him, Gary, he would have had a good gain out of it.
So at the 35-yard line, the Giants stop what was one of the most impressive drives of the afternoon, particularly for the Packers. Grimm flanked to the near side. Herman to the far side. First down at the New York 35. Norm Snead, play action fake, setting up the throw, complete to Bob Tucker, across the 45 to 50. He's to the Packer 46-yard line. That's the play earlier that Tucker caught, but fumbled the ball. This time he hangs on. It's a first down at the Packer 46.
It's become very obvious in the last two ball games that the teams see they cannot throw long against the Green Bay Packers, so they're going underneath the coverage. The linebackers are dropping off, and they're actually going underneath the linebackers for their pass plays. And they're also, Jim, using a lot of play-action fakes to freeze those linebackers. And Snead, again, did a good job of faking into the line, then pulling up and throwing to Bob Tucker. First down at the Green Bay 46-yard line. Just underway, second quarter, 7-7 the score. In motion to the near side comes Grimm. Herman is flanked to the far side. Give to Charlie Evans, going to the far side, the 45. He's hit hard and dropped at the 43-yard line. Willie Buchanan flying over there. Really had some collision. Jim Carter also in on the play. They're going to mark the forward progress at the Green Bay 44-yard line. There'll be a pickup of 2 yards. It'll bring up second down and 8. Evans that time really busted as Buchanan came flying up and very physical on that particular play. So the Giants using a lot of what the Vikings did last week, the play action stuff, the short passes, and using it very proficiently here in this first half of play. The Giants in their home blue, trimmed in red, with Herman flanked to the near side along with Bob Grimm. They split the backs now of Orduna and Charlie Evans. Bob Grimm goes in motion, far sideline. Snead back to throw. He's under a little bit of pressure, sets up the screen, complete to Evans, the 45, the 40, takes the tackle to 35, hit hard as he advances the ball to the 33-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. And that is another Giant first down. Jimmy Carter, who's very adept at smelling out the screen play, smelled that one out too, Gary, but there were too many blockers out in front of him. He leaped over one blocker, but as he did so, he was carried to the left side of the runner, and the runner cut back to this near side of the field, and off he went. He was actually to the right side of the runner, I should say. Then when the runner cut back to the near side, there was nobody there to make the tackle. So the screen negating some of that pass rush, and Snead again doing a good job mechanically for this football team. He's really running the team very effectively. First down now at the 34 of the Pack. In motion near side comes Bob Grimm. 7-7 to score. There's a draw to Evans. Evans is in trouble, though, as he is dropped. Jim Carter read that one all the way and dropped him for a loss back across the 35-yard line. Jim Carter really played that as well as you can play it. A loss of 2 yards is going to bring up second down and 12, back to the 35-yard line. The Packers again coming up with a big defensive play. As Carter just bear hugged him down. He diagnosed it, played off the block, and one-on-one stopped him there. Snead so far is 8 of 10 passes for 97 yards.
And all of them have been on that short variety as he's been able to pick away, throwing underneath the coverage. Packers almost jump offside. Snead back to throw, setting up. He's setting up the screen, a complete right over the middle to Tucker, but Tucker this time is dropped in a hurry, as playing it very well was Al Matthews. Matthews hit him around the shoe tops at the 30 as he just threw that one to his back coming out of the backfield, just alley-oop style, right over the middle. And at the 30-yard line, it's going to bring up third down and still 7 yards to go. Let's make it 6.5. The ball just inside the Packer 30-yard line. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. 7-7 the score. The Giants scored first at the 11:09 mark of the first quarter, and the Packers knotted it up with 2:47 remaining in that first stanza. The Giants break huddle. Bob Grimm along with Herman flanked to the far side of the field. Third down. 6.5 yards to go. At the 30-yard line of Green Bay. Back to throw goes Snead. Setting up the 37. Throws over the middle. Complete to Orduna. He's got it at the 25-yard line to the 25 is as far as he's going to go. But Snead threw that ball, falling backwards as he was hit just as he released it.
Norm Snead's doing a tremendous job. He's under a big rush right there. They're short of the first down, Gary. It appears to be by just about a couple of inches. They gave them the forward progress on the play, although he was driven backward. They're going to bring the measurement in for it. And if they are short, they will go for the field goal, apparently, right here, because the Giants want to get in front. But Snead did a great job of dumping that ball off that time because he was under such pressure. I don't know how he saw the receiver. It just seems to be impossible to have seen the receiver in that case. Well, they are short. And the fans here at the Yale Bowl would like to see their hometown 11 go for it. Herman is coming out of there. They've got Gary Ballman in, which would mean they have a couple of tight ends.
Also, Johnny Rowland, who was picked up from the St. Louis Cardinals this year, the veteran of 8 years, has come in. It's a matter of inches. It's fourth down. So at the 9:57 mark, it appears as though the New York Giants are going to go for it. 7-7 the score. The ball resting at the 23.5-yard line of Green Bay. As they have a pair of tight ends in, and here they go. Bob Grimm flanked to the far side. Rowland is in the backfield with Orduna. Rowland replacing Evans. Norm Snead, the quarterback, and interesting development here in this first half of play. Snead has everybody but Grimm in tight. He takes the snap. He gives off. Diving forward is Rowland. He fumbles the ball. He fumbled the ball, but I believe the Giants have recovered it. Johnny Rowland tried to cannonball over, tried to dive forward to pick up the first down, but he was hit in midair and the ball jarred loose, and the Packers have recovered, but I don't believe they had the first down anyway.
Now, Gary, what happened? He had the first down when he dived, then he fumbled the ball, and that cost him the yardage that he gained, and even if they did recover it, the Packers take over on fourth down. Now, we'll have to see whether they rule that a fumble recovery by the Packers or by the Giants. But the Packers would have had the ball on fourth down even if it were not a fumble, or even if they had recovered by the Giants. It had to be a fumble because he appeared to have the first down yardage on the play. Timeout. This is the Green Bay Packer Football Network.
Just that Alex Webster will go for those 4-1 most of the time. That's his tendency, and he did, and it backfires on him this time. So the Packers have the ball at the 24-yard line. Staggers to the far side, Smith to the near side. The Pack moving from left to right. There's a give to John Brockington trying to come to the outside. He's the 25. A flag is thrown as he moves to the 27-yard line. The flag went into the air just about the time Brockington started to move to the outside. And it's going to be holding against the Packers. So they're going to lose some field position in a hurry and a very inopportune time as far as Green Bay is concerned.
Here you have some mixed feelings about going on the 4th and 1 by the New York Giants there. You agree with the fact that you want to see more offense in the game. You want to see more touchdowns scored than field goals. But when they fail it, then I don't see how you can really fault the coach for taking what appears to be a cinched 3 points in that kind of play. The Giants would have had a 10-7 lead in all likelihood had they gone for the field goal at that point. Instead, they lose the football, and the Packers take it over. You can see the coach's position on this, too.
Well, the fans here wanted that, so they got their druthers, but now I wonder if they would admit to the fact that they called it that way. So at the 12-yard line now, it's first down, 22 yards to go after the holding call against the Packers. Del Gazo now going to have to play it very cautiously to try to get out of this situation. He now gives off to McArthur Lane, and Lane comes across the 15 to the 17-yard line. McArthur Lane advancing the ball out, getting a little more breathing room. We're trying to bring up second down, still long yardage. Carter Campbell made the stop for the Giants. Campbell along with Dan Goich, John Mendenhall, Jack Gregory in that forward wall, Jim Files, Brian Kelly, Henry Reed, the linebackers. Athos, along with Williams, the cornerback, Lockhart, and Chuck Crisp, the two safeties. Crisp, by the way, was a basketball star at Penn State. Also performing on the track team, and a walk-on, so to speak, and really found a niche on this New York Giant team. Second down, 17 for the Packers from their own 17-yard line. Here is Del Gazo giving off to McArthur Lane, trying to sweep the near side across the 17, maybe pick up a yard to the 18-yard line as the sweep not materializing. Jim Files played it very well from middle linebacking spot.
Okay, they've changed their ruling again. Let me give you what happened on the 4th and 1 play by the Giants. Johnny Rowland hit into the line, appeared to have the first down, fumbled. The ball was fumbled behind the first down marker, and Rowland recovered, but the Packers take over on downs because of the failure to make the first down on the play. And what it means now after the holding situations, the Packers have a 3rd and 16 from their own 18-yard line. They're just short of the 18-yard line. Staggers to the near side. Leland Glass now in, flank to the far side of the field. Phil Brockington to lane the running backs. Del Gazo would like to do something here to get some field position. He's going to give off to McArthur Lane, sweeping the far side. He comes up across the 15. He's going to lose a yard or two as he drops at the 16-yard line. John Douglas making the stop. So there is what you were talking about earlier, the field position dictating what you can or cannot do. And the Packers just didn't want to put the ball in the air. And so now 4th down, 17 yards to go, and Rod Whitby will come in and kick. And the field position now, the Giants, looks like it's going to be excellent after this one. Athos goes back for the Giants to his own 44-yard line. Whitby has kicked one 42 and 47 yards. He'll kick this one from the 2-yard line. 7 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in this first half.
7-7 the score. The snap to Whitby's a good one. Here's the kick. He hit it off the side of his foot. Coming to the near side of the field. There's a flag at the 45. It hits across the 50. He gets a roll all the way down to the Giant 43-yard line. But a flag was thrown clear up the field. And let's see what this one's all about. It's illegal procedure against the New York Giants.
Okay, both of those flags are way, way up this field. You wonder whether they had 10 or 12 men on the field or something like that. Or if they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but the flags were thrown in a strange position all the way back at the 45-yard line. And when you think the line of scrimmage was inside at the 16-yard line, the Packers will take that penalty so they can get a better kick away.
Well, the Giants did not put a rush on it all that time. They'd had their return game set up, and possibly, as you mentioned, they had so many people back setting up the return game, they were illegally lined up for that play.
All things seem to even out. Ron Whitby had a long punt earlier in the game that was negated by a penalty. Now he had a very short punt, a 40-yarder, which for him in that situation is kind of short. That's negated by a penalty. Let's see if we can get more yardage this time.
Actually, got a real break on that last one. Got about a 10-yard roll on it. So it's still 4th down and 12. And Whitby this time will kick from the 7-yard line. Here's the boot by Whitby. He hits a boomer. Athens going over the far side to let it hit, and it's going to go out of bounds. And they're going to mark the football at the 32-yard line of New York. So there's timeout. It's 7-7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. The New York Giants have the football at their own 33-yard line after Whitby's last kick traveled 45 yards. In motion to the far side goes Bob Grimm. Norm Speed, the quarterback, setting up to throw at the 25. Fakes one throw, then throws to Evans, and Evans is just literally annihilated by Jim Carter. Also an assist on the play from Carr. But Jim Carter, he was really waiting on that one. Evans had no chance at all. Actually, Snead pumped once and did throw, and then threw it anyway and lost some yardage.
I think Carter's given quarterbacks $10 for every time they call a screen because he loves to hit the guy who catches that screen. That time it wasn't really well set up. You know, the man was floating out there and it was obvious it was a screen from the word go. And his man, Charlie Evans, didn't seem to get out of the backfield very quickly and get over there or get set up in the right position.
Loss of 8 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down, 18 at the 25 of the Giants. Herman to the near side. The far side line, flanked out goes Bob Grimm. Thus far, both teams are been able to score on some opportunities handed to them. Other than that, they've had a tough time. Back to throw Snead, setting up, throws under pressure, wants to throw. He cocks one, twice, throws up the middle, Evans, and it's broken up by Hal Matthews. Hal Matthews at the 35 of New York reached up at the last moment and batted it away from Charlie Evans.
Yeah, he came very close to making an interception because he had it played better than Evans did, and he was on top of the ball. He tried to go over Evans' head and get to the ball, and Al got his hands on it, just couldn't hold it. Evans finally got there to help knock it away, too. But Al Matthews played that beautifully. Again, you go back to how well the defensive secondary of the Packers played.
Rich Houston comes in. It was interesting how Snead stayed in there. He's 6'4", and was able to cover the on-rushing lineman. He stepped up in the pocket a couple of steps and just seemed to, at the last moment, get rid of that football after pumping once and then throwing on the second downward motion of his arm. The moment we'll pause for a station identification break. At the 25-yard line, it's 3rd down now. Snead back to throw, rolling the far sideline. He throws the far side and is way overthrown, intercepted by Jim Hill. Hill at the 40, and he breaks one tackle across the 45, the 50, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line of New York. Well, that pass was badly thrown by Snead, and the Packers take over. Let's pause now, 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Green Bay Packer Football Network.
This is WBAY, AM and FM, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Stay tuned after the Giant Packer game wrap-up for the Dickey mailbag and scoreboard.
Well, Norm Snead now getting some boos as he comes off the field. Jim, he must have overthrown that by some 10 yards.
He did, Gary, but prior to the previous miss, he'd hit 8 in a row.
What have you done for me last? John Staggers, flank to the far side, the near sideline, Barry Smith. The I formation backfield. Quick pitch, near side, John Brockington. Brockington comes up to the 45-yard line, to the 44. Before the Giants arrive there, led by John Douglas, the left side linebacker. John Brockington trying to go wide most of the afternoon. Done a pretty good job of it. He's carried the ball thus far a total of 6 times for 27 yards. That time trying to get outside the Giants, and John Douglas reacting well to it.
That was before the last edition by Tom Kaminsky. 6 carries, 30 yards.
So pick up 3 more, 30 yards. The Packers last week only had 160 yards of total offense against the Vikings. So they're trying to put it together this afternoon. Second down, 6 yards to go. Make it a long 6. Operating this time from the 44-yard line of the Giants. There's a give to Brockington, and he's hit for a loss, and they had a mix-up on the exchange. John Mendenhall dropped him for a loss, but almost colliding was Delgado and Brockington on the exchange. In fact, Brockington did an abrupt direction change just to avoid colliding with Delgado. They're going to have to go back to the pass. You're just going to have to complete passes, and you're going to have to get somewhere in the secondary of the New York Giants because the Packers cannot run the ball unless they can pass it too. Well, it's third down now, and 8 yards to go. He lost a pair of yards on that one. John staggers to the near side. Barry Smith to the far side of the field. The Packers and Giants deadlocked at 7 apiece. Delgado apparently going to have to put the ball in the air now. Looks like we might have a blitz by Jim Files, who faked it anyway. Back to throw. Delgado setting up the 45. He's in trouble. Scrambles out of one situation. He runs up across the 45 and is hit at the 46-yard line. Carter Campbell got him. Has actually lost him a couple of yards. It's going to bring up fourth down as Delgado that time really had the pressure put on. The Giants anticipating the pass on 3rd and 8, and they were coming after him. So Ron Whitby now will come in to kick at the 3:35 mark of this first half of play. Oh, wait a minute. Chester Marcole is going to attempt the field goal. And this is going to be a 53-yarder. Marcole to attempt a 53-yard field goal. Lockhart goes back in case he misses it, standing at the 15-yard line. The snap, the kick by Chester is on the way. It's got height, and it is short. It is just short. It was down the middle, and the Giants will take over at the 20-yard line.
He kicked a 52-yarder was the only problem with that. He was about a yard shy on it. In practice on Thursday, Chester had kicked a 55-yarder that the team said was still traveling upward as it went across the crossbar. That's probably why they tried that one. It had the accuracy to it. It just did not have the distance, about a yard shy on the distance.
Still a 7-7 tie, have the football. 3 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the first half. They have a 3-back I formation, and now Grimm goes in motion off that to the far sideline. Snead gives off to Orduna. Orduna across the 20, the 25. He breaks one tackle to the 30, and he's got the first down. Joe Orduna eventually tackled by Jim Hill, but Orduna was doing a very good job of dragging a tackler with him. He was hit in the vicinity of the 27, but kept pumping the leg. Advanced the ball just across the 30-yard line, and the Giants with the first down. Joe Orduna, an all-Big 8 performer at the University of Nebraska. Outstanding young man. Out of Omaha originally, and now a first down for New York.
And we've had a great number of exchanges of the football this afternoon. Already each team has had it 7 times.
Bob Grimm flanked to the far side. John Herman to the near side. First down for the Giants. We go to the 3-minute mark now of this first half. Snead wants to throw. Looks the far sideline. Complete to Grimm. He's hit immediately by Willie Buchanan at the 35-yard line. I tell you, Grimm did a good job hanging on to that one because he was hit hard around the knees by Willie Buchanan.
That's a strange sight, seeing a wide receiver catch a football. So at the 35-yard line, it was a strange sight for Grimm, too. He didn't know what to do with it after he caught it.
It's going to bring up second down, 6 yards to go. Bob Grimm had some contract troubles with the Giants last year, reported late. The end result never did really assert himself in the Giant attack, but this year he's won a starting job that's being picked up from the Minnesota Vikings. Grimm in motion. There's a give up the middle to Orduna. Orduna picks his way across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That looks like another first down. Joe Orduna playing in place of the injured Ron Johnson and making hay while he can, as he's really done an expert job of carrying the football. He now has carried the ball a total of 5 times, and now Tom Kaminsky puts that computer-type mind together for 19 yards. And we go now to the 2-minute warning. There's timeout. The score is 7-7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. Capping it with a 17-yard touchdown pass from Snead to Herman. So it's first down at the 40.5-yard line. In motion to the far side goes Bob Grimm. Don Herman flanked to the near side. Snead straight back to throw. Pumps once, twice, throws up the middle. It's complete. But making the tackle immediately was Al Matthews. Making the grab right over the middle was Joe Orduna. But Orduna was dropped just as quick as he came up with the ball. And we're going to make a change. Yes, that was Joe Orduna. As he's to the 46. Al Matthews hit him as quick as he had the football. And a second down, a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5.
The Giants' successful passes, again, are all in between the coverage, underneath the secondary of the Packers.
Orduna in the backfield along with Charlie Evans. Herman to the near side. Bob Grimm flanked to the far side of the field. 2nd down, 5, and now Evans goes in motion. Back to throw Snead. Pressure putting on. He's going to duck up and go for a loss at the 39-yard line. You can see that coming all the way. The Packers really making penetration that time. Alden Roche getting up. Fred Carr also in on that last play. And a loss back to the 39-yard line brings up 3rd and 11.
I want to remind everybody that at halftime we'll have a special guest for you, Terry Bledsoe, former of the Milwaukee Journal, and now a management lackey. He works with the NFL. We're going to talk with Terry and find out how things are here in New York.
So now at the 39-yard line, 3rd and 11. Our post-game show will be visiting with Keith Morris of Sports Illustrated. Some of his impressions on today's game. As now Bob Grimm flanked to the near side, Herman to the far side, back to throw, Snead setting up the 31. He completes it to Orduna. Orduna makes the move at the 45, breaks one tackle, but help is on the way, and he's not going to go any further. Joe Orduna is snowed under in the vicinity of the 45, where it's going to bring up 4th down, and the Giants will have to kick the football as we have 37 seconds remaining in this first half. 7-7 the score as Tom Blanchard will come in and kick. They mark the ball just short of the 45-yard line, and now Green Bay has called timeout. They have stopped the clock with 29 seconds remaining in the first half.
Here's where the new rule that stops the clock to get teams exchanged on the field will help the Packers, give them a couple of plays in which they can do something with the football, and we'll watch and see what happens.
As he just picked away at the Packers thus far. From the 30-yard line now, Blanchard will kick it. The snap is high, but he got it. And here comes the boot, a fine kick. A fair catch is called for by Ken Ellis. He's got it to 21. And I'll tell you something, Blanchard had to go up to come down with that high snap and came through with good poise. And at the 21, Green Bay has it.
And the purpose, of course, of the fair catch is simply to stop the clock and give you time to get your people in. And we're going to watch and see who the quarterback is going to be this time. It'll still be Jim Delgado for the Green Bay Packers. Scott Hunter continues, however, to warm up on the sidelines. It will be interesting if Delgado doesn't move the ball club here, whether they'll make a change or not. Delgado has not had a good first half throwing the football. Hunter warming up with Larry Krause on the far sideline. John staggers to the near side. Barry Smith flanked to the far side. 22 seconds with which to work. And at their own 21-yard line, the Packers. Lane and blocking to the running back. Delgado back to throw. He stumbles and falls down. He fell down at the 17-yard line as he started to backpedal from the snap. Never did really see him. He just kind of disappeared from view as far as our vantage point is concerned. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think he dropped the ball and had to drop down on top of it. When he was backing up, the ball slipped out of his hands, or at least it appeared to from here, and he had to drop down on the football. I'll tell you, everything has happened that's possible to happen to Jim Delgado. Jim Delgado just needs something to give him some confidence. And he hasn't done anything in this first half to help his confidence. So at the 17-yard line, a loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 14. The clock running, and that's going to be the end of the first half of play. The score at halftime from the Yale Bowl. The Packers 7, the New York Giants 7. We'll be back with our halftime in a moment on the Green Bay Packer Football Network.
It's on track. Their defense again playing very well as we start the second half with a 7-7 deadlock. The kick by Mark Cole is a boomer. Ball way back in the end zone, fields it, and he very wisely will not bring it out. That's one of the better kickoffs of the year for Chester Marcole. He really got into that one, so they bring it out to 20. We're putting some statistics together on Jim Delgado in 2 games now. He's really had a tough time. He's hit 5 of 20 passes for a total of 30 yards and suffered 3 interceptions. We're waiting to see who starts the second half. Both Hunter and Delgado were warming up as they came out of the tunnel on the far side and got ready for the second half. But right now, the Giants have the football at the 20-yard line. They have 2 receivers split to the near side. And now in motion goes the fullback, Evans, to the far side. Snead back to throw on first down. He pumps once, throws up the middle, it's intercepted. Picked up by Tommy McLeod inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So Snead that time tried to throw underneath the coverage, and Tommy McLeod picks it up. And the Packers now with a golden opportunity at the Giant 18-yard line.
Snead had heavy pressure on him, Gary, and that's the first time he's really thrown the ball badly. He threw it right into the hands of McLeod and threw it into a crowd, and he doesn't normally do that.
Well, that's very reminiscent of what Delgado did when he started the first quarter. He threw the interception to the same type situation. And now the Packers with it at the 18-yard line. Scott Hunter is now the quarterback. He has started the second half. Hunter gives off now to McArthur Lane, and Lane charges forward for a couple of yards before Jack Gregory knocked him down. So Scott Hunter now has inherited the team at quarterback in the second half after Delgazo hit 1 of 4 for a -4 yards and suffered 2 interceptions in the first half of play. The Packers, prior to today, had 7 turnovers and not able to convert them into points. Today, they took 1 turnover and did convert it into a touchdown, and now they have a chance at another. It's second down, 8 from the 16-yard line out to the New York Giants. Last to the near side, John Staggers, flanked to the far side of the field. Scott Hunter takes the snap for Bowman. He gives off to John Brockington, and Brockington finds it very rough as he gets to the 15-yard line, and that's about all. John Mendenhall and Carter Campbell combined on the stop for the New York Giants, and they're going to mark the ball at the 14-yard line of New York, where it's going to bring up third down and still 6 yards to go. Barry Smith comes in. Leland Glass checks out. Just underway. Second half of play. 7-7 the score from the Yale Bowl in New Haven, Connecticut. Barry Smith to the near side. John Staggers to the far side. The I formation backfield of Brockington and Lane. The lead back is John Brockington. Scott Hunter taking over here now, trying to capitalize on the interception by McLeod. Again to McArthur Lane. He spins for a couple of yards, and that's all. The Giants very, very tough, and Chester Marcole will come in now to attempt the field goal. John Mendenhall and John Douglas combining on the tackle for the New York Giants. So after picking up that interception to the 18-yard line, on 3 thrusts, the Packers get it only to the 13-yard line. And Chester Marcole, who just missed a 53-yarder in the second quarter, this time will be kicking a 20-yarder. Marcole 6 of 11 thus far in the 1973 season. Ron Whitby to hold. Marcole is ready. The snap by Bowman is just about underway. The snap is there. The kick by Chester Marcole is up. It's good. And the Packers take the lead 10-7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. National Football League in passing, but today having a tough time. He suffered thus far this year a total of 8 interceptions. There's a kick by Marcole. He gets in another one. Walter Love goes back, and he's going to go to one knee. So the 2 kickoffs in the second half by Marcole have been very impressive. That brings it out to the 20-yard line. So now the Packers have a 10-7 lead, and the old Bluebirds are out because number 16, Norm Snead, is coming back onto the field. Well, they just follow them up from New York City right here to New Haven and continue their antics. Such a pleasant crowd here today. You know, they were booing the PA announcer before the game got underway. I don't know what you got to do to please them. From the 20-yard line now, the Giants, with their second crack at the football in the second half of play. In motion to the far sideline goes Bob Grimm. Snead gives off this time to Orduna, swinging the near side. Fred Carr's trying to get him. He gets around him to the 25, and he's rammed out of bounds by Jim Hill. But he got around Fred Carr and picked up 7 yards to the 27-yard line. Very good move by Orduna. He gave him an inside fake, and they just outran him around the corner, and Fred got a hold of him on the shoulder, but he couldn't get a good grip and couldn't bring him down. Second down, 3. Orduna done a very good job today. He's caught the ball and also filling in for Ron Johnson, run it well. He's carried the ball 6 times for 26 yards. Grimm flanked to the far side of the field. This time the split back, and Snead gives off to Orduna again, and Orduna hits the middle of the line, but begrudgingly picks up a yard or 2 as the interior of the Packer defense reacting well on that play. Getting up is Mike McCoy, Alden Roche. Jimmy Carter now is hurt. Carter is going off the field, and Larry Hefner is going to come in to replace him. Carter ran off on his own, took himself out of the ball game. Looks like he hurt an arm or something, and Dominic Santilli is over there. And now Gary Ballman comes in for the Giants. They have 2 tight ends then. On a third down, a yard to go. The other tight end being Bob Tucker, as Herman checks out. Third down, a yard to go from the 29 of the Giants. Let's hope that Jim Carter can get back in there soon. Hefner, the second-year man from Clemson, getting a crack at it now. Here's Snead giving off to Orduna, and he's not going to make it. As great defense that time, coming up was Al Matthews, also Fred Carr and Larry Hefner. So on a third down one, they try to go wide, and it backfires on him.
Hey, I'm watching over with Jimmy Carter. I'm not sure whether he jammed a finger or whether he might have hurt his shoulder. Now, he was in great pain and went to the sideline, but I don't believe he's seriously hurt at all. Now, he's walking it off, and I think it was intense pain, perhaps might have been from jamming that shoulder or from jamming the fingers. He might be back shortly.
Might have pinched a nerve. That's what Charlie Hall did last week, you might recall, as he had quite a collision. But Carter, as you said, is walking around on the far sideline. Blanchard will kick from the 16-yard line. 11:13 to go. Third quarter, the Packers with a 10-7 lead, and they're going to come after him, it looks like, on this one. Two men back deep. Staggers and Ellis. Here's the rush. The kick. He just got it underway. It's a low kick. It's bouncing at the 35 of Green Bay, down to the 30, and it's going to be down in that vicinity. So the Packers did not get a chance at a run back, but they almost got in the way of that kick as Blanchard had to hurry it up a little bit. They're going to mark the ball at the 32.5-yard line. The Packers have it there.
Yeah, I think what Staggers was doing was waiting for that ball to hit off somebody from New York. Then you can take a chance with it after that, because even if you were to fumble it, it still would be your ball back there where he touched it. So that's what he was doing.
So it's the 32.5-yard line. Scott Hunter, the quarterback, and the Packers with another crack at the ball. The other one set up on the interception by Tom McLeod, and then ending up with a 20-yard field goal by Chester Marcole. The Packers now have converted on 2 turnovers, and that was what they were having problems with against the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings. And they're conferring about probably just what was going wrong. As Scott Hunter now at quarterback, the line of scrimmage, the 32.5-yard line. The Packers moving from left to right to give to John Brockington. Brockington drags the tackler with him to the 35-yard line. John Mendenhall making the stop. Brockington making what he could out of that one. There wasn't an awful lot going. And they're going to mark the ball just across the 35-yard line, where it's going to bring up second down, 7 yards to go, a pickup of 3. Offensively for the Packers, Bowman in there along with Wortman, who's gone in place of Bill Luke, Gale Gillingham, Hayhoe, and Himes.
Jimmy Carter appears to be all right, Gary.
The Packers come out this time with Staggers, flanked to the far side of the field, the near sideline, Leland Glass. The Luke has not played since being hurt in the first quarter play. Here's Hunter giving off to Brockington. He spins, fights for a couple of yards, and that's all. Carter Campbell, reading well from his defensive end spot, made the tackle. As the interior of that Giant defense has been very difficult to run on. Most of the action that they've gotten anything at all was outside by Brockington, dancing to the outside. Leland Glass checks out. Barry Smith replaces him. It's going to be third down, still 4 yards to go. The ball at the 38-yard line of the Packers. Smith comes to the near side. 9 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It was 7-7 after the first quarter, and that's the way it is right now until the field goal with 12:50 to go in this second half. Here's Hunter wanting to throw. He throws far side. It's complete to John Staggers inside the 45. Let's see where we're going to mark the forward progress. In the Giant end of the field, it's at the 41-yard line. First down, and Hunter threw that one with something on it.
He did, and he knew where he wanted to go with it. The Packers had sent their backs on him. They still had some good blocking on it. And Staggers gets the first down, and that again is a strange sight to see a wide receiver catching the ball.
Hunter really blistered that one in. And Staggers caught it in his breadbasket, headed up the field, and dropped at the 41-yard line. So now the Packers in the New York Giant end of the field with 9:08 remaining in this third quarter play. That was a 21-yard pass completion, setting it up at the 41 of the Giants. Receivers wide left and wide right. Hunter this time gives off to Brockington. Brockington hits off the right-hand side, crosses the 40-yard line to the 38 before Dan Goich made the tackle.
To show you how the passing game has been suffering, Gary, that's the first down of the game passing for the Green Bay Packers, and only their 5th first down in the game.
Substitution, Smith in. Glass out with the play information for the far sideline. The pickup of 3 yards on that last play. It'll be second down, 7 for the Packers. The Packers 1-1-1. The Giants 1-1-1. There's been 3 NFL title battles between these two ball clubs. 44, 61, and 62. The Packers winning it. They led the series 19-16-2. Like to add their 20th victory here this afternoon. Again to Brockington, trying to go outside, but he's tripped up. He started up the middle, slanted to the outside, and was tripped up on a fine play by Brian Kelly. First Kelly getting his first starting call. Doing a good job out of California Lutheran. He was considered the greatest athlete in the school's history. A 14th round draft choice. What a find he's been. So at the 36-yard line, it's third down, still 5 yards to go. And apparently Scott Hunter now will have to go to the airways as we go in the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. The Packers have held the field position now in the second half of play, started with that interception by Tom McLeod. Staggers to the far side. Leland Glass to the near side of the field. Wortman still in at guard. Here is Hunter. Play action fake. Back to throw. He's setting up the screen. Complete the lane. He's got it to 35, to 30, to 25, to 20. He's down on the 15-yard line. I'll tell you, Hunter did an excellent job of throwing the football. He had to throw it over the on-rushing defense, and Lane caught the ball away from his body and converts it into a first down to the 15 of New York.
Lots of good things happened on that play. First of all, he waited until the last second to throw it. It was a good catch by McArthur. Lane, he was dancing out there, had to make a move to catch the ball, and then there was no cinch that he was going to get a first down on it. It took some good running. He made the cut back inside at the right time, and that got him the first down. And it's just good to see the ball moving. You know, it gives you some kind of movement on the ball, which we had not had for about 6 quarters with it.
So it's a 15-yard line, a 21-yard pass completion. That's 2 21-yard pass completions by Scott Hunter. Receivers wide left and wide right. Smith to the near side, staggers to the far side. A give to John Brockington. Brockington inside the 15, fights his way to the 11-yard line. He just kept fighting. Eventually, Mendenhall and Campbell wrestle him down. And John Brockington, they were just trying to, by weight, if nothing else, get him down. And so just short of the 10-yard line, a pickup of almost 5 yards on the play. As Glass comes in and Barry Smith checks out. 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Packers now with a second down, 5 yards to go at the 10.5-yard line of New York. 10-7, the Packers leading. They took the lead as we just started this third quarter on a field goal from 20 yards out by Chester Marcole. Leaving Glass to the near side, flanked out to give to Brockington, running straight ahead, and boy, it's tough. He was hit around the knees by John Mendenhall, and Mendenhall has just been all over the field. He's made tackle after tackle, playing outstanding football for the Giants. They're going to mark the forward progress at the 9-yard line, where it brings up third down and still 3.5 yards to go. The Giants have been difficult to run on, but Hunter now loosening them up a little bit with 2 pass completions. So if they don't get it here, Chester Marcole may be called on again. Chester 1 of 2 today, missing a 53-yarder in the first half. Barry Smith flanks to the near side. Staggers to the far side of the field. The split back to Brockington and Lane. Third down. 4 yards to go. There's again to McArthur Lane. Quick to the near side, inside the 10, the 5-yard line. That's very close. It's very close. Let's see if they're going to mark his forward progress far enough up the field. Jack Gregory made the stop. As they unpile at the 5-yard line, the official is going to bring the sticks in to see if he got it. Boy, I tell you, it's hard to see where they marked his forward progress. I'll bet you that he's got it. It looks like it has to be a first down, and that's a good call on that play. Scott Hunter did not try to force a pass. They called a run. He got the first down by half the length of the football. Good blocking that time on the sweep to the near side. The old Packer sweep starting to work, and one reason it's starting to work is Hunter has complemented the running game with a couple of aerials that have found the mark. And on this drive, he is 3 of 3 on third down plays. So now it's first and goal at the 5. 5 minutes, 3 seconds remaining. Third quarter. The Packers coming out in the second half and looking like a different football team. Leland Glass flanked to the near side. Nobody else split out. The split back to Brockington and Lane. First and goal from the 5-yard line. Hunter gives off to McArthur Lane straight ahead inside the 5 to about the 3. He hit up the middle. He had some penetration made, and then the Giants reacted and forced him backwards. And they're going to mark his forward progress to the 2-yard line, where it'll be second and goal there. Dan Goich and Jim Files making the tackle.
Yeah, this is terribly reminiscent of a drive of last year. This is I say terribly, I just mean it is, and it's good to see because the Packers won 10 games last year.
So now it's second goal at the 2. Barry Smith to the near side. The clock running, taking a lot of time on this drive. 4:27 to be exact remaining in the third quarter. 10-7. The Packers trying to add to that advantage. Here is Hunter giving off to McArthur Lane. Hits in. He's close, but I don't believe he made it. McArthur Lane kept pumping the legs, and he's maybe a half yard away from the goal line at that. We're to bring up third down goal there. They're going to mark the ball just outside the goal line. Dan Goich and John Mendenhall again combining on the tackle. And it's third and goal at the 6-inch line.
Bring up quite a coaching decision if you fail to make it on this play. What would you do? Would you go for a field goal that would still leave you only 6 points ahead and a touchdown would give them the lead? Or it would put them into a position where they'd have to get 2 field goals to tie you. So you just have to make a decision. But let's make it, not worry about it.
Only one split out is Leland Glass. Everybody else is in tight on this 3rd and goal at about the half-yard line. Scott Hunter gives off. McArthur Lane sweeping the near side. He's going for a loss. McArthur Lane is going back at the 4-yard line. Scott Hunter now motioning over the far sideline. Wanted to know if they're going to settle for the field goal. Jim Files is the guy that made that play for the Giants. He expected that after Lane earlier was able to pick up an important first down.
Gary, they were talking about at that time, the question was whether we should go to their strength or should we go right up the middle. They're going to go for the field goal. Hunter's actually the one who wanted the field goal. The coaching staff was about ready to go for the touchdown, but Hunter was signifying that the field goal team ought to come in. Well, the crowd very enthusiastic now applauding the Giant defense. This will be an 11-yard field goal attempt by Marcole. They were just about ready to go for it. Here's the kick by Chester Marcole. The kick is good, and the Packers lead 13-7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. I'll tell you, Scott's moved him very well. They can have 2 field goals in this 3rd quarter. Marcole kicked the line drive. Low kick, far side. Walter Love got it to 5. He comes up to 15, the 20, across the 25-yard line to the 27. Boy, he's a little scatterback or scooter. He's not very big. He's only 5'9", and now the crowd's roaring again because Norm Snead is still the quarterback for the New York Giants. Going to mark the ball at the 27-yard line. Well, I tell you what, Norm Snead is not fighting only the Packers. He's fighting his own fans here this afternoon. Grimm comes to the near side. Don Herman flanked to the far side. Snead was just unbelievable a year ago, and they've forgotten that in a hurry. Here's the give now. Running the ball is Orduna. He almost looked like he lost it running the near side, and he loses yardage. He drops at the 25-yard line. Looks like as he started his move to the near side, the ball about got away from him, and he's eventually caught and dropped at the 25. The Packers reacting well on the play. The fans are really quite upset. I think they want to go for a big bomb. They want to throw about 3 long ones. And they don't realize, I'm sure, the defensive secondary prowess of the Green Bay Packers. You got to remember, it's still 13-7. Giants, very good position. Of course, their touchdown, it's all they need. 2 receivers, flanked to the far side. Herman, along with Bob Grimm. Norm Snead on a 2nd and 11. The ball is at 25.5-yard line. Back to throw Snead. He's got protection up the middle, complete to Tucker. He's stopped by Jim Hill and Al Matthews. It's going to be short of the first down. Tucker was trying desperately to get to that front stick, but they just couldn't get away from Hill in particular. They're going to mark it just across the 35, the 35, maybe the 36. It's a yard short, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. Boy, he looks to Tucker, doesn't he? Tucker is a good one. He's 6'3", 230. We said in 1971 led the National Football League in receiving. Last year caught 55 passes for 764 yards. And for tight ends, you just don't expect them to catch that many footballs. I think the Giants got a corner on tight ends. Rich Castor for the New York Jets is one. 3rd down, a yard to go at the 36-yard line of New York. Grimm flanked to the far side. Play action fake, back to throw Steve. He throws up the field, complete to Tucker, the 45, the 50, breaks 1 tackle, and he's got it into Packer territory at the 47. I'll tell you something, though. Open on the far side was Bob Grimm further down the field, and Snead threw short to Tucker. He still got the first down, but I'm sure Bob Grimm will tell Norm Snead about that. Bob Grimm was standing there with his hands waving above his head, saying, throw the ball to me, throw the ball. So now at the 46-yard line, they convert that 3rd and 1 into a big gainer to the 46 of the Packers. 1 minute 4 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. 13-7. The Packers leading, adding 2 field goals in the second half. In motion to the near side comes Bob Grimm. Snead gives off. Running straight ahead with the football is Evans, and Evans is able to get inside the 45-yard line. Give him his forward progress at the 44. A pickup of 2. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. We haven't seen Ron Johnson yet this afternoon, but Orduna's done a good job in his absence. The attendance here today is 70,050. They don't know about the no-shows. They don't really have turnstiles where you can count as they come in. So that's the number of tickets they sold, and they'll have to count them up tomorrow to see how many they actually took in. Well, there's not too many, Missy Neal. As you look around here, it looks like solid fans in this ancient Yale Bowl. Must have been built in 1885. 2nd down 8. Snead back to throw. He's setting up the screen. It's complete to Evans. He steps up as he goes inside the 45 to the 43. Mike McCoy caught him from behind
and tripped him up. And then further up the field, Willie Buchanan put the finishing touches on. And at the 43-yard line, it's going to bring up third down, and we still have 6 yards to go. And that is going to be the end of the third quarter play. It's the Packers 13, the Giants 7. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. The ball is the 42.5-yard line. Back to throw. Snead looks up the middle, completes the Tucker. He's got it to 35 of Green Bay and passes the ball to the 32. Bob Tucker right over the middle. Willie Buchanan, Fred Carr combining on the tackle. And that play has worked all afternoon long as Bob Tucker continues to burn the Packers.
He's now caught 7 passes so far in the ball game for about 80 yards, 85 yards, more like it. And again, that's the key play. The Packers can't get to him, and they can't seem to cover Tucker. He's just filtering over the middle and then running a little tight end post pattern, basically what it is. He's from Bloomsburg State. Don't ask me where that is. And now it is a first down at the 32-yard line of the Packers. 13-7. Green Bay leading. Bob Grimm in motion to the near side. Snead gives off to Evans, sweeping the far side to 30, and he's smothered there. At the 30-yard line, Evans is hit and dropped. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Green Bay Packer Football Network.
This is WBAY, AM and FM, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Stay tuned after the Giant Packer game wrap-up for the Dookie mailbag and scoreboard.
A pickup of 2 yards on that last play by Evans, just inside the 30-yard line. Second down, 8. The Packers need to make the Giants at least settle for the field goal attempt. Pete Gogolak is an excellent field goal kicker. Thus far, he hasn't had a crack at one. Bob Grimm flanked to the far side. The split backs now of Orduna and Evans. Now Grimm comes in motion again to the near side. Buchanan dropping over to pick him up. There's a give to Orduna up the middle, and he's hit hard. Joe Orduna was straightened up momentarily, trying to go forward with just aggressive running, but little or nothing doing. They unpiled Tom McLeod, who was in on the tackle, but the first guy to get in there was Big Mike McCoy. He was the one that straightened him up and stopped him momentarily.
On third down plays in the game, unofficially, the Giants are 5 of 10, and most of them have come on little passes to Tucker on third down plays.
Well, here's a 3rd and 7. Tucker had 15 catches coming in here. He did not play a lot last week against the Cleveland Browns, was hurt. But today, he apparently is going full tilt. They have some real big league players. You talk about Tucker, Ron Johnson. Tucker now to the near side, split out about 4 yards. 3rd and 7 for Norm Snead, and he's going to throw. He's back at the 35. Throws one far sideline. Orduna makes a diving catch at the 21-yard line. Joe Orduna made a real spectacular diving catch. Let's see if that's enough for the first down. They may have to measure. The sticks are on the near side, and the play was on the extreme far side of the field. They're going to bring the sticks completely across the field, and Orduna made one of the big catches of the day.
Okay, he made a great catch, as you say. It's great because he hits the ground trying to hold on to the ball at the same time. He took a dive after it. I was watching Tucker. Tucker was kind of knocked off on the play, but they do get the first down, and now they're 6 of 11. We have a man shaken up. Willie Buchanan is going off the field, and Height Austin has replaced him. So that would be the second man out of the ball game. Luke earlier went out. Now Buchanan. Carter was out briefly, but he's back. So the rookie Height Austin has now come in, and also Rich Houston has come in at wide receiver, replacing Don Herman for the Giants. It's one of those games where you might get a lot of people banged up. You certainly hope not. So it's a 21. Another first down series for Norm Snead and the New York Giants. Houston flanked to the far side along with Bob Grimm. And Grimm's going to be back in motion, coming to the near side of the field. Snead back to throw, sets up at the 30-yard line, over the middle, it's complete to Tucker. Sidesteps the tackle at the 15, he's to the 10. Boy, I'll tell you, Tucker is something. He is a great receiver. They're going to mark his forward progress, 1st and goal, as that was another first down, crossed over the middle to Bob Tucker, who made a real move at the 15-yard line, just jockeyed one of the defenders out of position. You keep wondering what kind of an adjustment the Packers are failing to make on Tucker over the middle, because now he's caught 8 passes in this ball game alone. 1st and goal, they can actually pick up a 1st and goal at about the half-yard line, as if there's a 10 and a half. So it's 1st and 10, really. So split to the far side, now it's Herman, who's back in the ball game along with Bob Grimm. Evans, Orduna, the running back. Snead at the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, and a play-action fake, back to throw, throwing Grimm, he's wide open, touchdown!
a play action fake hit Bob Grimm, who made a diving catch in the back of the end zone. And it had to be the fake that set it up. So on a first down at the 10.5, Snead goes for broke. They've tied this game up 13-13. Well, North Snead all of a sudden now is pretty popular here at the Yale Bowl after having all the Boo Birds up. Isn't it interesting how fates can change? A point after 10 by Pete Gogolak coming up. Tom Blanchard to hold. The snap, the kick on the way, and now the Giants take a 14-13 lead. Time out on the Green Bay Packers Football Network. One by Grimm for the touchdown and 3 catches by Bob Tucker. Well, last year Snead threw 17 touchdown passes. Coming in today, he had 2. He's just now added number 3. Very impressive drive. The kick by Pete Gogolak. Down the middle, toward the goalpost. Thomas comes on a run. He's got the 10, 15, 20. Oh, he hit the 20-yard line. Hit by Brian Kelly. Kelly, the rookie from California Lutheran, and Thomas is getting up very slowly. You can't get hit much harder than that. And that touchdown has fired up not only the Giants, but the fans here. They're a very vocal group at this stage. Okay, I think you could expect to see the Packers go to little flip-off passes to their backs in this drive coming out. So the Packers now trailing for the first time in this football game. Well, we should say the second time because the Giants struck first to lead 7-0 before the Pack tied it up 7-7. Then they added 2 field goals to make it 13-7, and now the Giants lead 14-13 at the 20-yard line. Scott Hunter back to throw. Looking, throws, complete to John Brockington across the 30. He's got the first down to the 32-yard line. So hitting John Brockington to the near side. Brockington picking up 12 yards on the play. And Scott Hunter did a good job that time faking it up the middle.
Here we had an open wide receiver further down the field. I think it was John Staggers who had worked his way free. He was about 10 yards down, but Brockington was the surest receiver of the 2. And I think that's what you're going to see. He'll look downfield, will Hunter, but he may be going to those backs on little flip-off passes.
Well, that completion stems the tide a little bit anyway, as everybody here fired up. It's not a Green Bay Packer. The fans here are really excited as their Giants now lead 14-13. First down at the 32. Hunter gives to Brockington. Brockington hitting off the right inside, and then he's gang tackled as he's close to the 35-yard line. Carter Campbell and Dan Deutsch combining on the tackles. Now the Packers will have a second down, and they're still going to have 9 yards to go. Pick up about 1 yard on that play as we have 10:41 remaining in the football game. Barry Smith now comes in with the play information from the far sideline. We do not know the extent of Bill Luke's injury, but he has not played in the second half of play. We'll wait to see if Willie Buchanan will come back in when the Packers go back on defense. Barry Smith flanked to the far side, the near sideline, John Staggers. Second down, 9 yards to go for Green Bay, trailing 14-13. Back to throw, Scott Hunter, 25. He throws, it's caught by McArthur Lane. He's run out of bounds, at the 36-yard line. Hunter was looking deep and dumped to the near side. Brian Kelly reacting on the play. They're going to mark the ball at the 36-yard line, and it's going to bring up third down still, 6 yards to go. Hunter that time wanted to go deep, but nobody was open, and then he pumped it to the near sideline, and Lane made a fine catch running away from the play over his head. Third down, 6 yards to go. 10 remaining. The clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. Leland Glass is in, flanked to the far side, and now the cheerleaders are starting here in the crowd. You can probably hear yelling defense. Scott Hunter, the I formation call this time. He gets on the draw to Brockington. He comes up to the 35, going wide to the 40. He breaks the tackle there, and he's going to be short of the first down. It appears at the 41-yard line. Brockington doing everything possible to try to get that first down.
I think John might have made a slight mistake on the play, Gary. Had he gone straight up the field, he most likely would have had the first down, but he was trying to get outside to get big yardage on the play, and he's going to be, I'm sure, shy of the first down from where he is. They're asking for a measurement and a stoppage of the clock. No, they're not even going to bring the sticks in. Well, they are going to, although Scott Hunter started to go off, and now he comes back. But it appears that it is not going to be a first down. Well, Tommy Bell indicated that although he knows it's not a first down, Green Bay has requested the measurement. I think they want to see how far they have to go to see whether they should risk a fourth down play here. They're on the 43, and I don't think they're going to risk it. It's about a yard shy of the first down. Well, the veteran Tom Bell had spotted it right. So now the Packers are going to have to fix
the ball, and this place, let's listen to this crowd. I don't know where all those people went that were booing a while ago, but now everybody's excited about their hometown New York Giants. New Haven Giants. Well, that's right. New Haven tonight. So, Matthews is going to go back now at the 21-yard line for this anticipated punt from Ron Whitby. Whitby had in the first half 3 kicks, 42, 47, and 45 yards. This is his first kick now in the second half. He'll be booting this one from the 28-yard line. Matthews now backpedals the 15. Here's the snap, the kick. He hits a high, nose-high spiraling kick. Matthews is calling for the fair catch and goes to one knee and hazards the 10-yard line. And there's timeout. The Giants lead the Packers 14-13. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. Their own 11-yard line, first down. Don Herman put to the near side. Snead, who's got all the way at quarterback, has a 3-back eye and sends in motion Bob Grant. He's doing a lot of running today. There's the give off to the left-hand side. Running the ball is Charlie Evans, and Evans comes out to the 20-yard line. Boy, I tell you, they really set that one up. Starting the motion to the far side, then hitting off the left-hand side. And Evans advances the football just short of the 20, picking up 9 yards on the play. 2nd and 1.
That was the thing you did not want, a big first down play. You wanted about a 1-yard gainer on first down.
Now let's see if Snead plays with this one or goes for the first down. 8:56 remaining. 14-13. The Giants with a 1-point advantage. Put to the far side goes Herman. Picking up is Ken Ellis. Checking the near side. Buchanan is back in at left cornerback, so he's all right. That's good news. He went out briefly, but he's back in. Snead gives off this time to Orduner. Running the far side. He's up to the 20, and he's knocked out of bounds to the 23-yard line. And that will be enough for the first down, as they needed only a yard, and they needed only to get to the 21 and a half, and he got that messed up. So a first down, and we have a flag now back at the 17-yard line, and holding is coming up against the Giants, and I'm sure Alex Webster's pulling his red hair out right now.
Yeah, I think where it happened on the play, it appeared that our defensive right linebacker, Freddie Carr, had the play pretty well contained. In fact, he was going to throw it for a loss of a yard or two, and somebody got him out of there somehow, and apparently it was illegal. So the penalty now is going to move the ball back inside the 10 to the 9.5-yard line. It changes things considerably because they had the first down. And now it's going to bring up 2nd down, 11 yards to go. Time will start being important here pretty quick. 8.5 minutes remaining. Chester Marcole running back and forth on the far sideline. It might be his talented toe that could pull this thing out yet. Bob Grimm, flank to the near side. Willie Buchanan's on him. They split the backs this time of Evans and Orduner. Snead gives off to Orduner, swinging the near side up to the 10. He comes up to the 15-yard line and tackled there. Joe Orduner sweeping the near side. Jim Carter flying over there to make the stop along with Al Matthews. Is going to bring up 3rd down and still 7 yards to go. Okay, the fans here were calling for a late hit, and one of the Packers did come in late, but he didn't really make good contact there. I think if he had hit real hard right at that point, there might have been a flag thrown, and that's the one thing the Packers don't want to do right now.
3rd down, let's make it about 6 yards to go. A long 6. The ball is at the 15-yard line of the Giants. We just now have gone inside the 8-minute mark. 14-13. New York leading. Don Herman to the near side. Bob Grimm. Flank to the far side. Ellis on Grimm. Buchanan on Don Herman. Snead back to throw. Looking the near sideline. It is incomplete. Joe Orduner, the intended receiver. Defending very well is Tom McLeod, and that brings up 4th down. So that holding call could be a big one before this game is over. Instead of having a first down, the Giants then had a 2nd and 11 and not able to get the first down after that.
Yeah, I think you can reasonably expect to get this ball if you handle it correctly somewhere around your own 45-yard line, which is a good position to start from.
Ellis and Staggers go back as the twin safety. Tom Blanchard will kick it. Blanchard has kicked them 34, 34, and 39. So his average is not what you would anticipate for a guy that's been averaging 42.5 yards every time he puts the toe into the ball. He's standing to the goal line to kick this one. The clock was 7:44 running, or rather is not running. It has been stopped. Here's the snap. The kick by Blanchard. It's a low end-over-end kick. It's hitting the 45. They're going to let it roll to the 50. It rolls across into Green Bay territory at the 49, and there's timeout. The Packers trailing 14-13. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. They're now 51 yards away from the goal line at their own 49. 7:34 remaining, 14-13. The Giants on top by one. A give to Brockington across the 50. Drags the tacklers with him to the 45-yard line. Brockington taking up close to 6 yards on that move. Eventually, John Mendenhall, who else, made the tackle. We have a man shaken up for the Giants. That is Mendenhall. Getting up very slowly. Boy, what a game he's played. That's a pickup of 5 as they mark the forward progress at the 46-yard line.
You ever notice how they don't give any great concern about those defensive linemen? As long as they can stand, they leave them in there. If they're warm, they can breathe.
John Staggers, flank to the far side. The near sideline now is Glass. 2nd and 5. Fighting on the stop. Brockington now has 60 yards. Well, change that now as Tom Kaminsky adds 6 more yards to it. He has 66 yards on 18 carries. Lane 13 and 25. Brockington now starting to pile up the yardage. They mark the ball just inside the 40-yard line. First down for the Packers. Staggers to the near side. Barry Smith to the far side. This puts backs again of Lane and Brockington. 6:12 remaining in this game. Here's Hunter giving off to McArthur. Lane lowers his head, runs into some congestion as he gets to the 37-yard line. Carter Campbell and Dan Goetz again making the stop for the Giants.
Packers, of course, are basically in field goal range right now, Gary, but I think you have to think that touchdown is what you've got to think right now, because with a leg like Gogolak, you could get very much in trouble, and he could get them a victory, a one-point victory with a field goal. So you've got to think touchdown at this point.
Pickup of 2 as they mark the ball at the 38-yard line of the Giants. The Giants defensively have stayed about the same all afternoon long, making few changes. The Packers now with a 2nd and 8 at the 38-yard line of New York. Scott Hunter, play action fake, rolling one to throw. A flag is thrown, and Hunter's run over an official, and then he's tackled from behind. An official was throwing his flag up the field, forgot to get out of the way, and Hunter stumbled over him and then was down back at the 49-yard line. But what's the flag all about?
Okay, I think the official detected holding out there. It's either defensive or offensive holding. Let's see which it is as far as the official there is concerned. And he was knocked down. I think it was Tommy Bell who was knocked down. They're going to take a 5-yard penalty. Well, they're going to go back to the original line of scrimmage, I think is where they're going. Let's see what they do. There's some confusion here totally. They're marking off where it would be. All right, let's see. As I was saying, folks, it is holding against the Green Bay Packers. Well, you kind of suspected that because about the time Hunter started to drift right to throw the ball, the official that got in his way was throwing the flag towards the offensive line, which indicated he saw somebody pass blocking and illegally doing it. That really takes you out of field goal range. 2nd down now, 23 yards to go for the 47 of the Packers. Barry Smith to the near side, John Staggers to the far side of the field. 5:19 to go. Boy, that holding call could really be damaging. Back to throw, Scott Hunter. He is going up the field. It is broken up and almost intercepted. Coming up with a near interception was Jim Files. Files played it very well. The pass intended for McArthur Lane broke it up and then went diving, lunging forward to try to pick up the pass that he deflected, but could not. And it's now 3rd and 23. That's the first missed pass by Scott Hunter in 5 attempts so far this afternoon. Now, I think really the thing they're going to try to do, Gary, is you're not going to try to get the first down yardage. You're going to get back 10 or 15 yards in hopes that you can go for a field goal right now, because we're down to 5:13 left in the game.
They have 5 defensive backs in now as Otto Brown has come in. Otto Brown, the former Dallas Cowboy, has come in. 5 defensive backs on the current passing situation of 3rd and 23. Pass to the near side, the far sideline flanked out is John Staggers. Let's see what Hunter's got called. He gives on the draw to Brockington across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Well, he didn't get up there far enough to really give Marcole a shot, did he? Well, they're going to try it. They'll move it to the 49. This is going to be a long field goal.
Yeah, we were just talking about this, the possibility of a draw. I think they wanted at least 10 out of the draw, and they didn't get 10. And Chester's going to try a 56-yard field goal. He's really going to have to kick it.
Oh, boy. The ball is the 49 of New York. 4:45 remaining. Chester Marcole will attempt it. His longest of the year, 42 yards. The longest of his career last year was 51 yards. And now we've got a delay in the action momentarily with 4:41 remaining. It's 4th and 19 still. And I'll tell you, this is going to be something if he hits this one.
Okay, to be realistic about this, well, now the Giants are going to send a man back, but it would serve almost, unless it's blocked, the same purpose as a punt would. And so they're going to go ahead and try the field goal, but the Giants are going to retreat somebody. Now they get a chance to run it back if he is short on it.
Of course, the thing you really fear is a blocked field goal in this particular stage of the game. This will be a 56-yard attempt. Ron Whitby to hold. Boy, hang on. If this be something, if he can get this one through. 4:38 remaining in this game. 14-13, the Giants lead. The snap, the kick by Marcole is on the way. It's way short. Lockhart's got us at 10, comes up to 15, to the 17, dancing around. Gillingham had him momentarily, and then he dropped at the 20-yard line. So at the 20, New York will get it as Marcole was some 25 yards short on that one. Well, the Packers lose the golden opportunity by the defensive holding call, and now the crowd is standing and giving the New York Giants defensive unit a big hand. They should, because the Giants played excellent defense on that series as they did on the goal line series a couple of series ago. And the Giants defense has turned this ball game around right at the moment, and the Packers hurt themselves with the holding call. Marcole's kick actually is about 10 yards short because Lockhart fielded it just about the 10-yard line. But he was trying it from 56 yards out. Receivers wide left and wide right. From the 20-yard line, Snead, quick pitch, far side, Orduna. Orduna comes across the 20. He's up to the 25 and gets out of bounds to the 28-yard line. A gain of 8 yards. Dick Enderle, the left side offensive guard for the Giants, the former Atlanta Falcon, made a key block on that play. They're going to mark his forward progress at the 28-yard line, 2nd and 2. And that was a big play because the Giants now pick up a lot of yardage on that first play. The clock now stopped as he went out of bounds with 4:17 remaining. 14-13, the Giants leading. This would be a very damaging loss. Now, I see Heise Austin is in at left corner again, replacing Buchanan, who was in on that last series. But Austin has come back in. 2nd down, 2 yards to go from the 28 of New York. Now they shift a couple of times. Put to the far side, Herman. Again, Grimm comes in motion to the near side. Snead on a 2nd and 2 gives to Evans, and Evans got the first down. He comes up to the 30-yard line. Wasn't easy, though, as he was hit hard on the far side by Jim Hill and also Alden Roche. But as we look at the ball, I'm sure it is a first down. They're looking clear across the field. As now Gary Ballman coming in. Now, wait a minute. Maybe it is not. It's going to be 3rd down, and it's going to be very, very close to that first down. Let's make it 3rd down and a half yard to go. So the ball is just about on top of the 30-yard line. It is on top of it. They got to get across it. 3rd down, half yard to go. 3:41 remaining in the game. The clock starting to tick away, and the Packers need to get the football. Bob Grimm flanked to the far side. Ken Ellis to pick him up. 2 tight ends now with Tucker and Ballman in. Norm Snead gives off to Orduna, and Orduna's got the first down. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line as the Giants will maintain possession. This crowd here at the Yale Bowl very excited about their New York Giants.
Okay, that's a very damaging first down because it cost the Packers a minute and a half in time in getting the ball back. 3:05 remaining, and they're likely, if they can stop them on this series, to get it back with about a minute and a half to go, and that's not very much time. The Packers defensively with Williams, McCoy, Brown, Roche. The deep 4, Austin's in there with Matthews, Hill, and Ellis. Carter, McLeod, and Carr, the linebackers. First down at the 31.5-yard line. Grimm in motion to the near side. Snead gives off to his second man, Orduna, and he's thrown for a loss back across the 30 to the 29. That time, coming up very quickly, was Fred Carr. Carr just kind of stepped across there and met the play. So the loss and timeout is now going to be called, as we'll take a timeout with 2:29. The Packers trailing 14-13. Timeout on the Green Bay Packer Football Network. Still have a timeout and about a minute 45 to go.
at the 29.5-yard line. Second down, 11.5 to go. In motion near side, Grimm. Snead gives off to Evans. Evans hits off the right-hand side, spins his way up to the 34.5-yard line. So it's going to bring up third down. The clock running with 2:20. Third down and still 8 yards to go. Evans really getting up very, very slowly, and we have a man shaking up for the Packers. That's the reason they're getting up slowly. It's McLeod. I believe he's going to be all right, though. And they're going to let it run down now to the 2-minute warning. So with 2 minutes remaining in this game, the Giants lead the Packers 14-13. We'll be back with the final 2 minutes after this on your Packer Radio Network. Evans and Orduna behind Norm Snead on a 3rd and 7 from the 35. Snead wanting to throw, looking to their side. He throws up the field. It's almost intercepted. Tom McLeod almost picked it up. But that stops the clock with 1:55 and brings up fourth down.
Gary, we almost really came close to turning the game around completely then. McLeod had it in his hands. It's hard for a lineman to make that kind of a catch, and he came very close to catching it. But we did get a break, and as the play only took 5 seconds, conserves the timeout. You're going to get a fair catch call, I'm sure, unless they feel they have a good chance to run this ball back. If not, you'll get a fair catch call by the Packers on the punt. So now Blanchard will kick from the 20-yard line. The deepest man is Staggers at the 22 of Green Bay. 1:55 remaining. Fourth down, 7. The snap to Blanchard is perfect. Here comes the kick. He hits a boomer. The best kick of the day, boy. At the 18-yard line, Staggers trying to go wide. 20, 25. Comes up to 30, 35, and knocked out of bounds. So that time, Staggers did quite a job. It was kicked high, and he was able to get wide. Looked like Ken Ellis had a running block for him on the far side, which got him around the corner. The Giants got a great kick, but it was negated by the run back and also the stoppage of the clock by getting out of bounds. So the Packers did 2 things very right there. You know, there's a chill in the air, so winterize your car now, and you won't be sorry later. Just visit your Packerland mobile dealer and roll with the winner. 61 yards away, the Packers at their own 39-yard line. 1:43 remaining. 14-13, the Giants lead by 1. Barry Smith to the near side. John Staggers to the far side. Scott Hunter, the quarterback. Lane and Brockington, the running backs behind number 16, Hunter. Hunter wanting to throw, sets up, looking to far side. He throws, complete to Staggers. He's up to the 49-yard line of New York. And all of a sudden, the prospect of a field goal looks much brighter if they can keep moving it. 1:32, a first down for Green Bay. Staggers made a nice catch going into the air, had his legs cut out from under him, but held on to the football. And timeout now, Green Bay with 1:30. Okay, I'm kind of surprised they used the timeout so quickly. It's still 1:30. They could have gotten the playoff in about 15 seconds and stopped the clock there. You need another good completion to get a shot at it. And again, you don't want to make the mistake of getting an error by the holding penalty or something like that.
Whippy's over there practicing the snap to him, catching him. He gets a crack at it. First down now at the Giants, 49-yard line. 1.5 minutes to go. Hunter straight back to throws, got protection, throws up the middle of the lane across the 40. He is trying to go wide. He's giving ground. Going to try to get out of bounds across the 35, the 30, and knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line. And what a play by McArthur Lane. McArthur Lane took a heck of a chance, but it all paid off for him. He's at the 29-yard line. First down for the Packers. Now then, Gary, you're a coach. I'm going to put you in a position as a coach. You've got 1 minute and 20 seconds to go on the clock. If you wish, you can run it straight into the line for 3 plays and let the clock run down. Use your last timeout with about 15 seconds to go and go for the field goal there. What are you going to do? Well, that's percentage football, and I'll play percentages today. But let's see what happens. There's only 10 seconds more gone after that last play. 1 minute 20 remaining. First down at the 29-yard line of the Giants. Receivers wide left and wide right. A give to John Brockington. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage by Carter Campbell. He picks up 2 yards at best as he moves the ball to the 27-yard line. The clock running with 1 minute 10. It's second down now. He picks up 2 yards, second down and 8.
I've got to explain to the crowd the precarious position of our spotter, Tom Kaminsky, who is standing on a chair, writing on a board that's about 10 feet up in the air, and he's about to fall out into the crowd of the New York Giants, and he's yelling, "Run it on the ground." Now at the 27.5. Second down, almost 9 yards to go, 8.5. The clock running with 44 seconds. The I formation backfield. There's a give to McArthur Lane. They're working for that field goal as he moves it inside the 25 to the 24.
Campbell again making the stop. 34 seconds remaining. Third down coming up.
Gary, they may just let it run down right now. Scott Hunter is standing by the official, and I think he's told him when it gets down to about 5 seconds, I'm going to call the timeout because they're not going to take a chance with another play. You put it right into the fact that you're waiting for one play, the field goal. Now, Scott is checking with Coach Devine to see where he wants him to stop it to go for the field goal. This is it for Chester. You put it right on his shoulders. He either kicks it and makes it, or he kicks it and misses it. 6, 5. 5 seconds. It stopped right there at 5 seconds.
Did you see Scott Hunter? He had his hand on the shoulder of the official, crossing his legs very nonchalantly, told Tommy Bell to stop it at 5 seconds.
Well, I'm sure he told Tommy Bell well in advance to stop it right at 5 seconds. Chester has got it all on his shoulders. The Packers have taken time out, and we'll just sit here and wait.
This is going to be a 32-yard attempt. Ron Whitby to hold. 5 seconds remaining in the game. 14-13, the Giants will won. The snap, the kick on the way by Chester Marcole. It's good! Chester Marcole with 1 second left has hit it. And the Packers have taken a 16-14 lead, and Marcole is being carried around. Ken Ellis went running over with his helmet off and picked him up. And the Giants are still on the ground. The defense hasn't gotten up yet. Now they're starting to get up. And Chester Marcole has earned his pay today as the Packers now lead 16-14, a second remaining.
Well, we don't like to play it too close, folks, with a second to go in the game. But the Packers have taken the lead, and it's got to be a great boost to their morale if they can win this football game. They may onside the kick, Gary, is what they may do, or at least squib it so there can't be any great run back at it. And they're going to have people covering all over the field. The only thing that can beat them now is the run back of the kickoff for a touchdown by the New York Giants. And so the Packers have got a chance to win it, and this would really raise things up a great deal for the Green Bay. Help my spirits. I know I feel a lot better.
I have too. Scott Hunter has to feel pretty good too. He did a very good job again directing that drive. Coming into the second half, putting 3 field goals on the board. And Marcole is ready to kick off from right to left. The second remaining. Well, Chester, you must be breathing a little bit easier right now. I just can't imagine the pressure of a field goal kicker in that type situation. Here's a run up on the ball. He hits it on the ground. It's bouncing over the head. Going to be picked up by Love at the 20. Comes up to 25. He's dropped at the 30-yard line, and this game is over. The final score from New Haven, Connecticut. The Packers 16, the Giants 14. We'll be back with a wrap-up in a moment on the Green Bay Packer Football Network.